Assalamualaikum badingal mi ankolu kal kontongol to kendol nal kontong kendol nal badima la jadama e radio Spain banko kang salsata kono pi jon karo tilimuang aning lulola 2022 nyin sangono men dada ben sibito fe kal kontong al to kendol nal kontong kendola momo ibe damento in dunia tonkon nanoto nyin konden lulo nyin kono mbaflale al benyadi Allah tumo be nyaadi Allah watul be nyaadi janten tol sayimbe tilibulole kono be salfana be wole walinkan atuta montro erikling aninto sida salfana salon malinga mi ankolu komen bi na kacabe kelamente bi manna kibarla santem betembo mendo bari bi musibitolti pour kana ron ning banku dingol yakacha men be ko Gambia dingol comme nga highlight na platform oto nyamen na YouTube channel o nyindo comme nim men nata ma ngini dal bulu fanan ko ali subscribe botino nyin ali al bulu dika kan ali subscribe ali share ali follow al bade on nal kanuntew nyin prodrong ka platform nyin ka sembenti ya o damalemu o men nyoyalamu e kudolon do fane dolon dol ngamelon kana ko le futan lalla pour jama sa geno nyamen sa moy no nyamen wati kilongola na dinkral to janten o kamala be mingini nal buldron pro la support nyin pro ala sen notin lala wati o wati ala kana kudu akunna sainten sen korindala no botaye mbadi ngolo se duwanyo e ko dunia be kolarin be tembo mento aman sum fenna fo mfongo kaf menna ko hadama de ngola baro human factor wala be dunia mol batandi kampito boku be dunia kan alawo be tembo mento o yina tannal bad hadama de ngol wulel fongo mangine fongala pro munna drong eko fo ngat nyotora o nyotoro pro dolse irwa kono dolye na so sota akono yimu kuleti men bi nyinem fenti men na dunia devastate is a catastrophe bari sangi saba komanto yin pandemic o datita dunia kono sanji fula ay mol hatajinde sanji fula mol men Kenya long mol soronda bon kono kari jelu bandam banda fawti pour kata ila dakon domoro fon sang kana domo bon kono fon ika nyangin ne bari law enforcement na da bankol kan kajeko mol kana na du nyokono bari kurambe kering aka bu hadamadin naita hadamadin to ak janjan nyamen amantoro ka wara wala nyam molu wulta hakil malu londi tiyolum lo atiyolum men mata lo lansa fo authority den kajeko fo e wuli abe kole ala nyaawo nya bari nyinko we have to contain it kamara no nyamen and put an end to it. But thanks to God, Niajibe with all those expertise, experienced people, competent people and competent institution men ye bill to contain this catastrophic pandemic men tarta dunia kono men a dunia devastated la mang blatu ye even na laron dal koto dawda abele koleandi hadamadung bulu you cannot even breathe, you cannot have a fresh air ibitar la kordale kono utatale fo wati jang jannim ba ngodingol ka findi ye wati jang ke banda ke hata gindi because ifongole bukata certain to be certain that whether you are not going to catch up the virus ingeta kuti men dunia batandi kabirin 2019 in datita for kanabula 2020 it start to alleviating abe jikan domani for 2021 doctors nyol ya kata e borol bondi scientists ol teng e kurango nyin sai e mul dema e vaccination o bondi vaccination men asa control no so that ate transmit la anim fana nae e contact fanan ate kuke no lela alal demaro to isoxita olto sa imbete momento we are breathing out of pandemic now. Pandemic going na ko benni je kaga fofinti oto modo finda dunia kono men ako he is potential symbol babul ate koko diata sa keno anyon hadama de wala nyom bankola the sovereign state mo membe ko Vladimir Putin modo la banko kam membe ko Vladimir Zelensky ala banko Ukraine sorry nyim kita kuliti men is too painful ko inyon hadama de se wuli ka wandi banko ka nyapa kan ka misailol tindi jeto ka bomol tindi jeto ka atlantic tindi jeto ka mortal ka mul sojerubula banko kono ka mol mutake slaughter like animals ko inyon hadama de ise okela ila banko kan ite be siring ila bongo kono ila palace oto everything is available for you sojerol be kantala ko do be bul fon ferni ila fetal dawda you are scared but no the others men man secure in their houses ikela bomo sike katlin wala bon le ika bomo fay jeto ikifa innocent people nyin natna ge fenti ni dunia koleandi mol bulu saimbe tembo mento ni nata dunia be the food where we use the communities which we use daily basis in natna ge fenti men awolilla cool that janjan mol because of the high price. The price hike, it is too elevated. It is too elevated right now. Nobody cannot imagine. Kajeko fengol la price obinu minto ani bi abe level of minto is too high. It's too high because dinata water metanong it was triple. They are 50% on top of the regular prices of the food commodities which you use daily basis. So sana mudomaning aje ko kolbe iskan domaning be jikan domaning bari hani bi ning iteka kilina domonu bi ka fulala domo o sawa tilo kono mu fennati men ay molla consumption o will increase. Dung molla anin it doesn't move from any ink to another ink. So niaje banko fong be kolearin dunia dulal be kolearin because of what? Dunia mol fong la sabo amanke komen ala say wala be jarabikam fong la be fong jarabikam aman sum fenna greediness, political gain, authoritarian rules, unpatriotic citizens, men they put their interests first than the interests of their nations. Ninebe dunia tinya kang politician mampare katilin silola imampare ka palasol bula iba sikala ebe bankola resource ka kafunyoma ka mabut la killing ka banku dingol konyala men nyanda ka good living standards soto okodoto. Instead ya utilize what the purpose of the resource men ka collect from the poor people puruka dundo purpose can no just they will just accumulate it for themselves for their future children, but it can collect menbulo the taxpayers. Well, they are still suffering in a poverty diary state because everything nowadays in a third world country everything is dying. There is nothing good, absolutely not the education, not the health, not the agriculture, not good infrastructure. Nothing is available for them to the adequate standard which other countries are living in. The third world countries, you can't even imagine how this 21st century you go somewhere or some places where you wouldn't find even a tap in a whole village or electricity. It is so sad. It is very unfortunate, which nobody expect. Now, some other people can be living in such a situation. It is very sad. It's sadly just because of what? Politicians. They are egoists to make themselves rich. Every now and then, the poor people are getting poorer and poorer every now and then. Because of what? Drafting their belongings. Because if you ask someone to pay tax, in turn, that tax will be put in a good use. That means to bring development to their doorsteps. But no, that money, you will define them from that money. You are going to spend it for your own interest. Is that a humanity? No. That inhuman. And ninada kol min bikirin na bankol kampi sakontul la Africa la nyaton kol. It is very sad. Momona da se kuma di mafo si diamale with a sweet mouth min liyo ko le mo si dale nawla si kumufo sa fo ko nyode ning sita me dahala ba bele kala mem. But just imagine, let that man or woman, whether he or she get to that position, you see what will be the result. Always disappointment upon disappointment every day that emerge from their side. Ibuka believe anko membe nung campagnola abe menginin kam bulnu otuma masota kam memfo nendia dadia afange mo sobe oti afange mo kumfare oti banno na da frato position oto wala kana was ite ko memfon eme la ko mentakela wala fon kana fi saut ikamodoji yamuta komen ala kumo boka dia bare o manke komen agiso man betia ala mari do la kumo diata agiso kono man betia amari manke fenti just wow sa fodron wow dron na mun ay kumo mo se wow bari adaka memfo ani member siso kono, they are quite different sounding bankotem o mo sifal jama ntol africanol ngaben o nyaton ko sifal le fi si dia mono ino si dia mansalim just crowding agitate la nyamen elafta menna their political gains isa sut no nyamen. So say nin mbototo ngadung political mbe caring ntol fong la banko kan na banko kan ni ajibi kabring falen kata 2017 masakunda kuto sida membe ko coalition impasignol beta le fa banta alaman na tana soton na banko kan president men banko de oli kata fa membe ko Adama Barrow difficulty soto do but alnatan dema Gambia de la Gambia dia comme ngalo nyamen Gambians are not problematic. Gambians we love each and other to live in harmony. Umuna culturally since then when they are back because of what Gambians are interacted. Ntol dunta nyokono bakele so kamala only bandi odrone ka wuli anyung Gambia dingo tora ay kukala membe kala man toroti but naman koti nin inata political karola ndal se kuyanyoy o is natural plus political team from quality you have to politic your fellow your opponent to brainwash others about ila opponent onyina karola because mune nimo ke you won't have your political gain from those people you are seeking vote from them. So nyina mukoti Gambia political dia mosi dun temale manyo kajafi dol men kalanda tambo ko wolsebula ka molne mbaro matina ko kelo men sinana ka kelo fitno wulinde banko kan fodula nudula du nyola no Gambia no not like that but what is unfortunate or inata from the side of the politicians they never keep their promise comme nte wati nke infole politico ni men baby katra ni ndro ke kam political la karola mo te kono men akala promise o men for even 10% o aka fulfill ko continue only 10% I'm saying because ngajele ajame Sadora Karebala Mansakunda Boyne 1994. Kotol their soldiers with difference. It will nada mentambite no la kolmanke kilomoti. It all inate fongola silola wala munti trong corruption ko inata ko wala kele Gambia banko kang nepotism. Yo kuma di malefo ko fanang they want transparency in the administration. They want to be transparent whatever they are doing, and they won't be hesitated to be held account for whatever they do during their administration. But no, things turn upside down. Bari man se abo nyama nan ko State House je mu dinkral tim ni be mo kije men a wasata, because ni mo kije men wasata, no way nada da fay sulodun abaka pare ka buje. So wala kana ki tagirin tewti komen nay man sakunda follow mentata nyato membe ko ya jamme anata laba nyame. But similar thing is looming. Membe ko Adam Baro nada for 3 years, atafango ko 2 years. Mol ko no transitional do at least ngake 3 years ti. Ninga structural tangel londi. So we have a strong foundation, sustainable one, reform keda, then you can leave, we go back to the pool again. Like the sangi sabo agreement oti MOU data. But in turn, what happens is greediness. Palazzo moboka taji Africa Banko kang amari chance sa jabul puruka continue ako mechanism ako le use. Do mechanism jama ke community banko dingul fang sakonina ta dinkrala menbe ko na molmen kamara katre fao kola ni bodo to state apparatus menbe ko security wolel kanaka multi wolel kakai instrumento ti ka banko dingul intimidate to bring and still fear inside people, the population, general population, so much so that to intimidate them, to control them, so that they can gain whatever they want on their political interest. So, in a quality men can na bankol affect na banko buka develop now, because nim nyaton ko tata amantra concentrate ni fenkang ntembe wati jelle kala wati jelle mbetalo jam pour ka sunyaro ke fo la fitala nyame ngam fansan sanno nyame fanankana na tasi commission o nyatle la o ikanan commission bari la fimero yefa maralo nyinto ni fara maralo to who is going to commission you? Only God. But imoto muta kutimeng ko umukuleti meng wole koleata katambi dunia yesindi jang kitidula nyatle ngola o commissioner isila kokuna ki inquire. Commission of inquiry imol muta fenti imo yolol muta kuti fa meng koleata even ka banku dengola kodota banku don nyanta balula menna kay balala kata babo wandi bankol kam, because inuka million men sunya banku dong la kodore kata mabo o ka lo fengol hano fengol men ina ialo la banko kan etete o imuna fanolo at one time be la bonkil ne kono bu fanan kono room kili be la lo kono rumo kono be la ran kili kan. Just imagine itena million sika million banko la keso kono ya sunya ya divert anyanta kala purpose men ibukana koto ita yadung ifansung hajo kuna pro just in luxuries quality miluko moto nyimal lembang korda nyimal lembang ikatawol ta ikol sang o kadung wal kuna, whilst others cannot afford a single meal for themselves or their family. Ite ye millions ye bali wala ye deprive wala isi ye ban far o kodo ibuka pare kadun o kol kuna ni tate doman ninke o dokol fa e kaki ite katla within months they start to be destroyed, dilapidated, because always precarious job ends like that. You won't have your satisfaction. It won't have long time life period, just only short period. Because of precarious materials, poor materials, men they don't have a quality to be strong enough to do the job, the adequate job. Men yeki men kama because niban joran kenlo getla tatal doko kenola anyama. It won't. It will stay for just few time. It will start broken. So this is the case. Because of what? Just to keep the rest of the money. You spend 50% or you spend 75%. The other 25% you keep it in your pocket for your own development. For your own development. So kamala mbadingolo nyimu kuleti meng. This is the destruction of our nation, our countries, until we have no hope as yet. The way the administrators are administrating our resource, our nation's affairs, it is not in a good looking. We haven't seen any progress yet in our countries, especially when you come to Africa, our sub-region. It's very, 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 very crazy down there because of what the authorities, they don't have the commitment to bring development in there. Only talk, but afterwards they will sit and rest. They will forget everything. You see now, ni naton tol fong la bankola mete momento sansanem molbota bulo kosila baroye kabada sita lang second tamon meng ake forsete kasi because ntol opposition ngaje wala nyama because ntol we are not supporting him. Ninata political Carola, I'm not supporting Baro because of what the way he treat the things. Me, I dislike it. I don't like it. So Kamala, I don't have any appreciation for Barrow's administration because of what they are not doing the right thing for the Gambian people. So Kamala, very Nyaton Coleman, they never keep their promise. Whatever they say, tomorrow they will come and turn it upside down. Belanga Janko yela white paper bond after the report was released and launched TRRC. So many people applauded them. The Barrow administration, the cabinet rather, with the Attorney General and Justice Minister, the Jallo, the white paper. Many of them applauded for being bold enough, boldly decided on those recommendations emerged from the TRRC recommendation. But now, just of recently, Ngajeko, the minister, published when he was at the committee meeting with the legislatures at the National Assembly to respond to the questions. Anyway, the TRRC recommendation, it is not going to be implemented this year because of what? Lack of fund. Because already the government has casted their budget for this year, and TRRC recommendations are not included. They don't have fund for TRRC recommendations. So that means when next year. But ni nata ko be reparation okela, but reparation anyway is good. Ka reparation okay, but because of what they say 50 to 100,000 50 million to $100 million is they are going to spend that for victims reparation. But ni boto war is not enough. Reparation okay, mention that na mulbe reconcile no lanyadi, because if we don't prosecute perpetrators, those who perpetrate the others to violate their rights, if we don't brought them to the justice, still now there will be the same recurrence in the Gambia, because nobody will be feared to do whatever they want. Nina mukoti niaje ikamu samba kitila ya bute ala kekuala wala munti ya alaman kodola o ya samba kasoto kata sindi jeto ay do ko ke bankoe sinaje ko ala hakilo nyin asina mur ko mako whatever I anything plan purukake ill will, he will think it twice. Other than that, Nabanko still we will be stagnant in the same place. We will not move to any level. Ning tiara silang recommendation ma implement Gambia Banko kang to be an example. I don't see any progress in our reconciliation, because you can do reparations, but healings there is to punish perpetrators, to discipline them so that others can see. When the others have seen that they can restrain themselves from doing such things to their own fellow citizens. Nimukuleti is very unfortunate ko dawro jalla so si ka foko tiara sila recommendation is not going to implement it this year. We have still 6 months and some days through the year long. They don't have another remedy. The money they are going to allocate for the group to implement these prosecutions and so, because they said they have already they are all recruiting the group which is going to handle these prosecutions and any other matter which is consist of these TRRC recommendation. They already started it. That's what they said. But now in turn, when he said we cannot implement it this year, so those group, what are they going to do? Only investigating, like TRRC. They have done the job for 3 years. The outcome have been published, but nothing has materialized as yet. Because we've seen that TRRC since ever, they've recommended such and such people to be suspended from their job, but those people continue more than 1 year serving the nation whilst they were perpetrators, those who malhandled citizens, innocent ones, because of what? For the interest of one person, the former president. But after all, now they say they are going to implement that. They start, already they have sent letters to those people and the institution where they are employed, to terminate their duty whilst they are working for the public, and the recommendation said they should be stopped from performing any public duty or to work in any public office in the Gambia. They said they've already started that, but to implement, that means to bring those perpetrators, to arrange them to the court, prosecute them. If you are guilty, then it depends on the law. the law will take the due course. So this is the only thing. But when you say you are not going to implement it this year, what will happen next year? Who knows? Nobody knows whether this government will be there or not, or whether you will be there or not, or any other one. Anything can happen. You see, now in this world there is nothing certain. We are always living in uncertainty. Uncertainty we are living in nowadays in this world. There is nothing certain. You cannot be certain for anything now more than even 1 month, because anything can occur. Anything can occur in this world. Anything strange which you don't expect it. Unacceptable things happen every second in this world, especially when you come to the administration. So, Dauda, you have to be careful. You have to try your level best, talk with your boss, implement TRRC's recommendations before it will be too late. Sooner is better than later. If you do things soon, maybe anything would want to come that wouldn't be effect. But if you leave the things like that, to be too naive, to get control of those things, to do as they're supposed to be, you might come across with challenges which will restrict you from doing those things, you know. Hence you are talking about the fund, but you people lobby funds from World Bank, from IMF, from international institutions to have some project where the project, we have seen many projects which were not successfully implemented because we have never seen any achievement so far. Men kabring barola man sakunda sita men isafoko, they have accomplished this project. Men, they have spent millions of dollars or euros. Maji follow. Only mse men fono wala mu Senegambia bridge sangi lulo nyinkono. Kenisol be silo men de la kang, still it is under construction. Dradol mambang bridge dol banda membe ko base bridge thing. But nina ta kujama be caring. Even just of recently nying damo la extension of ming aliya long thing, but still the country is struggling with the power failure. Every time Gambia, we always experience power failure. Many areas in the country, still we don't have sufficient energy for the purpose. No, we all were hoping that in Damo line extension on Ninga Launchta, that is going to serve us, that is going to deliver a good electric supply to the nation. But still yet, the nation is struggling with poor electricity. The assets of the people being destroying every now and then by power failure, higher volume of the voltage, which smashes out all the materials which we have in our domestic materials which we use in our houses. Because when you have a high voltage, everything blow up. So this is the thing. Nabanko until better moment, still we have long way to go. because muning technocratul ibe Gambia banko kanni, but technocratul ila doko ndungaje ko it is not meant for the purpose, because muning ite yetata doko menna pour ka implement banko kan. You said you are a technocrat, you know how to calculate, you know how to think what to do, what is good for the country, to design it. But after all, you did your job to start the project being started. But what will happen later? Ibina manikala wrong fengol menu ibina na edunawo kol fengol kunna itna katla do kote betial made on ina atinna na bankol te progress non made on medan na jang o masakunda bi manya men na ron pro kana ka itandi la ko bankola kodo imanyan na kata inda na komen kunne baka ko kunne kake kudo kunna e ha fodun do ko kunna do ko mta betiala to ya mabo o kodo te kilinte o domanola ani la dimbal bari do ko tan batongola e balala men ika bondi bulu taxpayer sol wol ni la dimbal be sofa kan every day ni mukulati men kolata bak madon melen na jang sa fale ko ala baraka nal badi mala jadam lem nal tunta na YouTube channel on yinto ali subscribe button on ma ali like fanan ali share Allah badi on non al kanun tolte man sa fale ko ala baraka fo sama fanan mina nal be ko chala to man ning current affairs la na banko kan aning ni nata the new cabinet and the new legislature